Welcome, leaders, to the Women's Leadership Mindset series presented by TK Page Enterprises. My name is Teresa Page, and I am your host and looking forward to spending these next few moments with all of you. We have a lot of work to get done on today, but first, allow me to invite you to connect with me by subscribing to my website and to connect and follow me on LinkedIn, YouTube, and other social media platforms. And always feel free to contact me directly via email or by booking an appointment. So what is our goal? Well, as an author, speaker, coach, and mentor, my mission is to help professional women renew their leadership mindset with fresh fire and purpose through diverse mediums of leadership empowerment solutions and the My Journey to Wholeness book series. However, the Women's Leadership Mindset series is a new initiative intended to spotlight powerful women leaders and how they serve the world through their professions and purpose. So with a goal to help women realize their unfulfilled dreams and re-energize the leaders they always were, this platform is designed to enhance, empower, educate, equalize, and even emancipate, as our featured guests share their entrepreneurial stories, provide viable resources, and guidance in a caring, professional, and impactful manner. So, let's get down to business. All right, in today's video, it is my pleasure to welcome to my virtual stage Lois Wyant, online visibility expert of JFT Marketing, located in Franklinton, North Carolina. With an entrepreneurial spirit inherited from her parents, Lois embarked on her first business venture during high school. Alongside her husband, they established a thriving portrait studio. It was during this time that she delved into the intricacies of online marketing, diligently staying abreast of the latest updates. Through consistent effort, she achieved and maintained a top 3 ranking on Google. Today, she leverages her expertise to assist others in attaining similar success in the digital realm. So to contact Lois, you may connect with her on her website at jftwebmarketing.com. You may also email her at info@jftwebmarketing.com. You may connect with her on LinkedIn at local.business-marketing. You may connect with her on social media on Facebook at JFT Web Marketing. And you may also connect with her on Instagram and YouTube at JFT Web Marketing. We will bring all this information back along with Lois's free gift before we go. But first, I want to say, welcome, Lois. How are you?
Oh, hi, Teresa. Thank you. I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me here. This is such a sweet situation. I mean, I had you on my podcast, and being on yours just makes this really special to me.
Awesome. Yes, I am really excited about that we're able to kind of hop on both sides. So that's really cool. I believe that we first made a connection after the really impactful event that was called Be the Light in 2025. So it's such an awesome experience to be able for us to introduce each other to our individual networks. So I look forward to being able to partner and collaborate more in the future.
Oh, that would be great.
Wonderful. So I'm excited about our conversation on today. So we're going to go ahead and get down to business. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself beyond the bio?
All right, beyond the bio. So, I'm in Franklinton, North Carolina. I've been here for almost 2 years. I moved down here to be closer to grandchildren. Not my children, but my grandchildren. Just make sure you noticed that. I am a Christian. I love the Lord, and He has blessed us with six grandchildren and twins on the way. So I'm going to be getting a lot of Gigi hugging in. But I love online marketing. I love helping the local business owner, the ones who are leaning on the near me, get in front of people, whether it's through social media, online, video, just be in front of people who are searching for their services.
Absolutely. And I think that's really wonderful that you've moved closer to the grandchildren. Congratulations on the new bundles that are coming. Twins!
I know. I don't know how to take it. Every so often I just think, oh, we have twins
Oh my
coming.
goodness. Two babies. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. And I think it's really cool with what you're doing with online marketing. I like your platform with the podcast that you have, and I hope you'll talk a little bit more about that as we go in our conversation. So for the online marketing for entrepreneurs, the conversation is like, do I or don't I? you know, as far as, to get out there doing your social media, but with entrepreneurs, sometimes we get caught into the trap of giving so much of our lives over to social media or trying to push our brand on social media that sometimes we can actually forget the work that we're actually supposed to do, what we're out here entrepreneuring for. Uh,
That's
as we
true.
go on in our conversation, can you take a minute to indicate why it would be so important to help entrepreneurs, number one, not to fall into that trap where they could still, be able, especially for those who may not be able to afford your services or bring on someone onto their team, how to strike that balance of not losing your life or using up your business day with just posting social media, to find that balance in between. Let me do what needs to be done and said on social media, but let me keep my work focused. Can you start there, and then I'll have a follow-up question after that?
All right. Yes, it is important to be on social media, but it's not important to be on all of them. So you need to find out, research. Okay, I will be honest with you. I am a big time AI fan. All right. Love it or hate it. It's our future, and I have indeed embraced it. So using AI and also scheduling. So you need to, well, let's go down this rabbit hole, okay?
Okay.
I'm a fan of ChatGPT, also Claude, Perplexity, but what you need to do is, let's say you're using ChatGPT, and you need to train that AI to be your personal business assistant. And what I mean by that is that you need to teach it your voice, what you do, and the quality of your service. So pretend like it's a new employee. And so what are you going to tell a new employee when they come in? You're going to tell them, like, how did you start your business? How long have you been in business? What do you do? Your products that you service, the process of your sales, all of these things. You're just going to brain dump all of that stuff into your AI. And then what you're going to do is you're going to ask it, is there anything else that it would like to know? Because it's an employee. So create that conversation. And it will ask you questions. So once you answer those questions, then you're going to start giving it like some roles. Like, you are my social media expert. And so you know all of this. So give me a month's worth of social media based on the client that we're attracting. Then you go in there, you get those, you create them, do a bulk create in Canva. Those are really, I mean, just, it is so cool. But use the app bulk create in Canva and create all of the graphics for those. And then I use Go High Level, and like, I think I have like 60 days worth of posts already ready in Go High Level, and they just show up on the days that they're supposed to. So yes, it could take you a couple hours, maybe, I would say an hour and a half to do a month worth posting, automate it, have it done, and there you go. It's already on there. Check it in the evening, see if anybody made any comments, respond to those comments. But now you've just relieved yourself not only of the stress of like, oh, I've got to go in and post this, at 1:30, I'm going to go in and post this content. But you've also relieved yourself of that stress of there's a process where if you're I bulk create most of my stuff because I know that it takes me about 20 minutes to get out of this box and into this box. And so if I don't have to go out of whatever box I am in and go into, oh, I got to go post this, I am saving myself so much time. And so you need to use the tools and they're not expensive tools. I mean, ChatGPT, you could use the free version. They're not expensive tools, and you need to use these tools so that you can run your business. You've got all those hats you've got to wear, and you need to use these tools so that you can relieve yourself of some of that stress and spend more time with your family.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for giving us some insight there. I will have to say that I'm really learning how to use a little bit more AI. I am a solopreneur, and so I'm finding it pretty interesting. And you've just given me more insight about both creating and all of that. I don't think I've used ChatGPT in and of itself, but I'm starting to use Copilot a little bit more in the Word, in the Microsoft space. And it's helped me tremendously, especially with the things that I'm having to do. So, well, let's talk about it on the other side. So
Okay.
now that you kind of help those who may need to operate a little longer, maybe just as a solopreneur and learn how to use Chat GPT, but now tell us why it is so wonderful to bring on visibility experts such as yourself onto that entrepreneur that has the resources to bring you onto their team, and why are you so much wonderful, more wonderful than AI?
Well, I use a lot of AI, so we're kind of partners in that area.
Partners,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Um, if you have the ability, and I do not want to put any local business in a financial bind, but if you have the ability to bring on somebody like myself as like, it's kind of like hiring a part-time person to do your online marketing, that frees you up so that you can focus on the employees. The Do I need to buy another truck? Do I need to, where do I need to grow and organize my business on a one-sided part? Because if you are not in your mindset thinking, especially like a home service business, because those are the ones who lean in a lot on the near me searches. But if you're not really leaning on the idea of having a family vacation or just managing the trucks and the people who go out, if you're the one who's still going out, then your goal should be to be the one who sits in the office and has a 30-day work week while the business is still growing. You want to own a business, not own a job. And so adding somebody like myself on would give you that flexibility of knowing that these things are being done that you probably didn't get done before. But also, I have a lot of guarantees, like I don't start charging you until you're on page one. So we work on the process, and then once you're on page one, that's when you start paying. And then you know that you're on page one, so you're getting an increasement in calls, and we're going to help you make sure that you have an automated system to help handle those extra calls. And so the money's going to start coming in to pay for the services.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I like that. It basically is just giving us entrepreneurs that freedom to really just be able to focus on the business. And I like the way that you said to be owner of a business and not over a job. I love that so much. Now, Lois, can maybe share with us, maybe from a vulnerable point of view, with the emergence of AI and the more that's becoming integrated into our world, and we're having to learn how to just get used to it as a tool, are there any fears for experts such as yourself with the online marketing, that at any point that your role may become obsolete? And if that is a fear, what do you project how online marketers should be able to evolve?
Okay, well, let's start with the fact that we are in a world of good and evil. So no matter what tools come out, there's the good and there's the bad. So I hear a lot of times, I hear people say, oh, well, I'm going to have to fire my employees because AI is going to do what they're doing. No, people still need the human touch. But what you're doing is you're freeing that person up from something that's taking up too much time, and you're giving them something else to do that's going to be more profitable for your business. So you know that person, you've trained that person, they know your business, move them into an area that's going to make them more successful in growing your business. So I don't see AI as being a point of, oh, it's going to eliminate all these jobs. Well, okay, there are some jobs that are going to be moved and changed, but it's going to give us opportunities to be more expert in what we're doing and how we're doing it. So it's freeing us up with that little monotonous type of stuff, like creating social media posts. That takes a lot of time to sit down and do that every day. But if you're using it to do a batch and just doing the whole month at one time, you're saving yourself a lot more time so that you can be at your kids' basketball game and at dinner with your family.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, thank you so much for giving us that insight, Lois. And how do you plan to evolve from here? It's in your world of online marketing.
Oh, it is going to be so much fun. I am so looking so forward to it because I love changes, I love challenges, and I love learning. So it's just continuously with AI just growing and learning and getting better and better that we're going to be able to organize more. So it's kind of like, let me tell you a story. When I was in elementary school so long ago, the teachers were talking about, oh, when computers come out, we're going to have shorter work days. We're going to have shorter work weeks. And then when I got my first computer, it was not shorter. I was taking up so much time just to learn how it worked, how this program works and how that program works. Then I was spending so much time because I realized how much more I can do. Oh, I can get this done and this on the computer rather than doing it by hand. So I was spending more time on the computer. With AI, this is the first time I really see that we could actually have shorter work days and shorter work weeks because the AI is going to do so much of this little stuff that's time consuming and free up our time. So I see that we'll need websites because the AI needs that information to bring up for the searches. So will searches change? Yes. Probably in the next year and a half is the prediction that my mentors say. So about a year and a half, we'll probably all be searching on some platform of AI. Now, where's that AI going to find that information? From your website, which is going to have to change. You're going to have to restructure your website to be really specific on questions that people are searching for. Now, there's a website called Answer the Public, and it's really great at giving you a list of questions that are actually being searched. Yeah, and then you can also ask your AI, what are the most common questions? But you're going to have a page to answer each of those questions. You're going to need a video to answer each of those questions because the AI is reading the video scripts content and it's reading the website content. And you're going to have to put it in a very conversational point, and it needs to be exact. So no longer are we in a point of, oh, you need a 700-word blog post. You need to be really concise on the information that people are searching for because AI really is honing in on that. But also, if we happen to be a person who goes to your website, we now have the attention span shorter than a goldfish. And I don't know what that speed is, but I think it's pretty short. And so we want to no longer read content. We don't want to read a whole page. We want to skim through it. We want bullet points. We want a video. We want highlights that just take us to the right question that we want to answer. I don't want to read a whole article. So we have to be more exact on the content that we're going to be putting on our website. So because AI is going to be answering all those questions. So I love the fact that like I have one of my favorite clients is he does concrete curbing in Indiana. And so I'm checking things every so often, and I go in and I'm searching his town and looking, give me the best concrete curber in Greenwood. And his comes up in the AI search, which is the AI search in Google is even above everything. So it's really fun to know that we're following the rules and we're getting success for our clients.
Well, that's wonderful. So as we move forward to restructure our website using AI to help answer the questions that our potential clients may need, once we gather that information, then how do we craft that on our website without giving away all of the secrets? Then, without giving away all of your secrets from a high level, then how would one then take that information and integrate it on a website that's already there?
Yeah.
How would you suggest that a entrepreneur would be able to utilize that information or where to put it on their website?
Okay. One of two places. You could go ahead and have a blog. So you can use it as a blog post, or you can use it as background pages. And so what I mean by that is that it's not actually visible to the people who are searching. So it's not like in your menu or in your footer, it's a link on the page somewhere. But so here's the structure that we're looking at. All right. So if there's your home page and there's a really specific question people ask, then you might mention that question like, oh, common asked questions, da da da. And then that question is a link to another page that's not in your menu, but answers that question. So when AI looks and sees that question on your home page and sees that it's a backlink to another page, that's kind of like telling it that that's a really important question and you have a very important answer to it. So then it goes to that page and reads that page. So those are the two places. Now, if you have blog posts and you haven't touched them in a long time, it's a good time to do that. So go through your blog post, condense them down, make them bullet points, make them skimmable, cut the content out, making sure they're really answering specific questions, and even like combine some of your blog posts so that the content isn't, you don't want to confuse the search engines by having the same answer in multiple places on your website. So if you're answering the question in different ways, then condense all those into one page so that they know that you are the authority on that.
That's pretty cool. Thank you so much for giving us that insight. You already have my brain turned. You know what I'm going to have to do with my website. So thank you for giving us some insight there. Now, Lois, take us in. Let's say that you have been a prospective client has been referred to you, and take us in on what it would look like to work with your organization, JFT Web Marketing, from start to introduction to going into contract with you. What does that experience look like?
Well, it depends upon the type of business. And so generally what I would first do is do an audit on their website. Does it follow Google rules? Is it Google speed? So there is a specific speed that Google expects websites on mobile phones. And is it mobile friendly? And there's a specific ruling that Google has for mobile searches, because I think we're at like 80% of people do most of their searches on their phone now. So Google is not going to give you a good ranking if you are not mobile friendly to their standard. Okay, so you can look at it and go, oh yeah, it looks fine. But if it doesn't say what Google says is important, then you cannot get on the first page. So that's the first thing we're going to make sure. And then depending upon what type of business it is, we might work on adding structural content to their page so that they're getting searches. We might go into making sure that they're using AI to service their customers well. So like one of my favorite tools to add to many businesses that service a local area is a voice chatbot, and it's run by an AI. So it actually talks to the people when they're on their website, answering questions. It can answer questions. It can make an appointment. It can offer to send samples. It gets addresses. It puts it on your calendar. If you're like an emergency type of company, like say you're an HVAC company and it's an emergency, their heater just went out and it's winter time, it can get information and then text you that you need to call this person right away. So it's really an amazing assistant to have. And the best thing is it doesn't take vacations or lunch breaks, and it doesn't ask for a raise. So it's really a great tool. But then also looking at, what social medias work for them. Um, a lot of times what we'll do is we'll analyze their competition. So looking at the person, the companies that are in the top 3 of the Google Maps and seeing what they have. My client has to have 2 more steps more than what they have. So if we're looking at, oh, they have 60 reviews and my client has 20 reviews, that's a major thing that we're going to work on. We got to get their reviews up because Google is going to look at all of this and compare things, because Google can't read and say, oh, you're the best at your service. They only know what they see online. And so a company that has more reviews has a better chance of getting a higher ranking than somebody who does the best at their work. So it's all going to be based on video is extremely important for 2 reasons. First off, Google owns YouTube. So anytime you use YouTube, it's kind of like getting little extra points on your Google searches. So if you embed a video on your home page, Google's going to kind of take that as a like, oh yeah, you're using my stuff. And the other thing is, again, because of the goldfish attention span, we would rather watch a video to learn about your business and how your service is going to help me than to read content. So it's all going to be custom based on the business. But those are some of the biggest highlights that we're going to work on.
I think that's pretty awesome. And I know that you like to work with entrepreneurs. Is there a particular niche of entrepreneurs that you like to work with?
Yeah, so I choose to work with the companies that lean on the near me searches. So that would be like a restaurant near me, a electrician near me, because Google has a really good, they really like ranking people who are in a specific area. So I really do focus on the near me searches.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now, I can imagine that this world is very interesting. I would love for you, Lois, to take us behind the scenes and maybe share with us, especially in your journey, something either the most funny or the most intense behind the scenes adventure that you have experienced while you're building this business and as you're continuing on to embrace AI in your work. So take us behind the curtain. What is something either most funny or most intense?
All right, well, how far back can I go?
As far as you would like to go.
Okay, so I got into this because my husband and I had a photography studio, and one of the best known studios in Indiana at the time. We were doing like 250 weddings a year with teams of other photographers. And because of our position, we knew that we were kind of like the leading people who do things. So we were one of the first studios in the area to have a website, one of the first studios to do email marketing. And when digital came out, we knew that we were going to have to be one of those who jumped in there really fast. And so the first professional digital camera was actually created by Kodak. Now, some of you may not even recognize that name, but it was really big at the
That
time. And it was it was a little bit larger than the digital cameras now. So it looked like a 35 millimeter camera. It was just a little bit bigger though. And it did not take pictures near as well as this does. and it was $25,000.
Whoa.
So, so sometimes when you know that you need to step into a technology, it's a big investment,
Yeah.
but it's the steps that make it grow and make you better, and that helps you to be noted as the professional. So that was probably one of the biggest steps that we had, was just buying that one camera for $25,000. And it wasn't as good as this. And like the cards were like $1,000 at that time too. So the whole thing was just a huge investment.
Absolutely. Now, do you still have the camera?
Oh no, it became a doorstop and just ended up in the trash. Yeah.
That's
It
funny. That's funny.
did not have a really long lifespan on it.
That's hilarious. It became a doorstop. Hey, you were able to repurpose it. Why not? Why not? So, Lois, I'm enjoying our conversation so much as we prepare to downshift. As you know, that um, you know, as far as the core of my work, I have a passion to employ love as the ultimate success factor, to renew women's leadership mindset with fresh fire and purpose. And one of the things that I believe is that the effective power of love is a game changer.
Mm.
I believe that it gives us a competitive edge, not just in our heart matters, but it gives us an edge so that we're innovative in business, we're powerful in our leadership, we're fully present for our team or our stakeholders or our clients. We're knowledgeable in industry trends and also benevolent in our community service. And along with that, I also believe that every woman is a leader and that every woman has a controlling influence over a particular domain, whether it's a cause, a people, a territory, or a region. So, two questions. Number one, what kind of a leader would you say that you are? And the follow-up question to that is, how do you believe that love has shaped you as that kind of leader?
Well, I did share at the beginning that I was a follower of Jesus. And so my spiritual gift is serving. I mean, I've taken all the tests, my spiritual gift is serving. And so I truly believe that I am put here to serve these entrepreneurs, these local business owners, to help them build their business. It's just like I understand where they're coming from. I remember sitting at my desk and thinking, oh, if I just had the budget of Walmart, imagine what I could do. And now we're in a time and an era that we don't have to have a huge budget, because the online marketing has really made it possible for us to do a lot of things and get in front of a lot of people that we couldn't do a long time ago. And so that's really, really kind of where my passion is, my love is that I want to help the businesses that are serving the local community, who's are making a difference in, those are the ones who are sponsoring the Little League teams. They're the ones that are hiring the people in their neighborhood, helping the people in their neighborhood. Those are the people that I have a passion for and the people that I want to serve.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So is it safe to say that you are a servant leader, that you're a consummate servant leader?
Yeah, I think that is me. Yep.
Wonderful, wonderful. And how do you believe that love has shaped you as that leader? Or would you say it is your faith walk that has been responsible for that shaping and turned you into that awesome servant leader?
Yeah, I think so. And just the fact that I love the fact that these are the people in my community that's making a difference in my community. So they're the people who care about the school. They're donating to the school. They're paying for their kid to be in the little leagues and those types of things. So I feel like the local businesses are the ones who build up the community.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And how would you say that you would like future generations to benefit from the work that you're doing today?
Well, I think it would be really cool to see these businesses handed down to their children and their grandchildren, and these businesses having multi-generation ownership. I think that would be just really amazing for me to be part of that and helping them build their business so that they're online and they're supporting their children in the business, and their children are like, oh, this is great, we can do this. It's just helping them to continue holding their business and the love that they have when they started that business.
I love that. I love that. And so, Lois, you have given us such great information. I really have a 21st century forward thinking mindset about online marketing and how we could be more successful and still, as entrepreneurs, and still be able to have our freedom to do the things that we really want to truly do with our business and still be able to maintain our freedom with our families and anything else that we find passion in. So, as we prepare to wind down, I want us to take a moment to, you've been educating us the entire time, but what I would like for you to do is share with us what tip, what encouragement or resource would you give to someone that is listening to our conversation on today and there is a dream career or a dream business that has been messing with them and sitting in the back of their mind, sitting on our heart, but they just haven't taken that leap of faith or made that step to step into those particular realms. What tip, what encouragement or resource would you give to those individuals to push them forward?
I would say, well, I do have a gift for people, and it actually is a PDF. It's called the 5 Minute AI Plan to Get Found, Trusted, and Chosen. So that's a really nice area to start. But I think that when we're in confusion, like I don't know what to do today. Um, it's a really great thing to have an AI that's not well, not leaning on something, or it's just out there with knowledge that it just knows. I have a high school friend that reached out to me yesterday, and she just lost her job, and she's like, I don't know what to do. How did you get where you are, and things like this. And I said, hey, do you have an AI, like a chat that you can talk to? I mean, tell it all the things that you know. Because, with AI, we are creating businesses that based on things that we love to do. There are people out there with new YouTube channels on how to do crocheting or how to do cooking, or, all kinds of cooking and, weight loss things. So that's coming up on my Facebook because I'm trying to lose 20 pounds. But all kinds of these things that are coming up that are creating businesses for people. And sometimes you just need to like peel back the onion sections and find out what your real passion is and what do you really have in your heart that you want to do with the rest of your life. And I think that a conversation with an AI chat helps to open up those doors. There's people, like I heard a story of a landscaper who he could not do any more jobs because he had his full staff out, but yet he just wanted to make a little bit more money. And so what happened was he started doing YouTube videos, and people across the country were like, oh, that's great. He's giving tips. And so now he just does the designs for the landscaping and they give them to their local landscaper. You don't have to be tied down to your area or to one thing. You can expand and grow. And the technology is just there to help you do that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, Lois, what about that individual who they're already living the dream? They've already had these conversations. They figured out another way to navigate into the world, but they're feeling a little stuck and frustrated. What would you give to them to help them to get out of that little rut there? And maybe the example that you just provided was was a great example there. But what else would you give for those who's already living a dream, but they just need to find another way?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of going in that same direction, like what is not keeping you happy in your dream job right now? Can an AI take care of that? What is frustrating you or keeping you up at night? Is there a VA who can help you with that? There's just so many sources that we have available that help us to relieve the stress and the things that are keeping us up at night. We just have to be open to do the research to find out what is going to help you. And there's multiple coaches who help people through this and working through the process of creating your happiness or finding your happiness.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you so much for giving us some insight there. Now, you've already mentioned it, but I want you to take a little deeper dive into it. You do have a complimentary gift for our audience on today, a
Mhm.
complimentary PDF guide that is titled The 5-Minute AI Plan to Get Found, Trusted, and Chosen. Tell us a little bit more about this special information.
Yeah, it's just it's 5-minute guide, so it's not real long, but just to give you some tips on, what to look into with your AI and how to just kind of open up your mind to some processes that you could use it for.
Well, that's wonderful. So we're going to make sure that we get this into the bio so our audience will be able to access it. So I want to say thank you so much for providing this information. Now, Lois, now it has been such an honor to be able to spend some time with you on today and to gain access to your type of expertise, which I think is going to be so helpful. Some things I'm going to go start working on this week, automatically this week. So thank you so much for giving us some insight. So as we prepare to wrap up, what are your last words to take us a little bit further? We're still in the first quarter of 2026. What would you leave our audience with? What final words to take us on into greater success as we move forward in 2026?
All right, two quotes that really stick in my mind. First off, my dad always, always, always said, work smarter, not harder. Let's make sure I say it right. Work smarter, not harder. And then another mentor of mine has recently said that it's not your competition that's going to put you out of business. It's not keeping up with technology. And so as technology grows, people are expecting a higher level of service. It's just we've got that McDonald mentality of, I need it now. So if you're not answering your phones right away, then let's set up an AI that will take care of your phone calls because people, first off, not many people like to leave messages, but they're going to just keep calling until somebody answers the phone, and the person who answers the phone is going to get the job. So use the technology so that you grow your business.
I love that. I love that. You hear that, audience? Work smarter, not harder, and use the technology to grow your business so you are not left behind. Well, Lois, thank you so much for being with us on today. It was such a great honor to have you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
You're wonderful. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, we want to say thank you for joining us. Remember, you can connect with Lois by visiting her website at jftwebmarketing.com. You may also send her an email at info@jftwebmarketing.com. And be sure that you connect with her on social media. You could do that on LinkedIn at local-business-marketing. You may also connect with her on Facebook at JFT Web Marketing. Be sure to also connect with her on Instagram and YouTube at JFT Web Marketing. And please do not forget to access her complimentary gift on today, the 5-minute AI plan to get found, trusted, and chosen. You can find that information at gift.profitableLeadsSystem.com. And we'll be sure to put this information in the bio. Now, leaders, do you have an important story to tell that would inspire others to step into their career or business? If so, check the bio to learn how to become one of my special guests. And also, I would like to take a moment to cordially invite you to check out my brand new book, My Journey to Wholeness, Love the Success Factor, the new edition. Now available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, this book and its companion reference guide workbook remains a tangible demonstration of how God's love develops women to lead, create, and generate wealth in the fullness of our equality, purpose, and business. However, you will find additional insight, steps, and activities on how to practically apply love to your real-life circumstances, careers, or business models with resources already within your immediate reach. So check the bio to learn how to visit my author's corner to access the entire My Journey to Wholeness book series and gift collection. So we want to say thank you all for joining in for another episode of the Women's Leadership Mindset series. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, here's to the journey, and let's move forward.